Alrighty, here we are on page 762, and you have a calculator with you. And we're going to do just a few more problems out of the book to wrap up lesson 5, and then we'll talk about these skills practice worksheet that you're going to do next. So I'm going to do number 8 on this page and number 9. So number 8 at the top says you have a sandwich shop that offers 4 different meats and 2 different cheeses. So I'm just going to underline this because these are the events that we need to focus on. Now, suppose this sandwich shop offers 24 different meat and cheese sandwiches. How many different breads does the sandwich shop use? So let's just talk about, to start, the 4 different meats times, because remember we use multiplication with counting principle, and the 2 different cheeses, and how many combinations we can have with just the meat and the cheese. So 4 times 2, you're going to have 8 outcomes there of just the meat and cheese combination. Now, obviously, if you are at a sandwich shop, it's going to go on bread. And so the sandwich shop offers 24 different sandwiches. So you're trying to figure out how many breads does the sandwich shop use? Well, if there were 8 outcomes of meat and cheese, and you need to know how many different types of breads, how do you get to 24? So 8 times what is going to give you 24 different sandwiches? So we need this right here missing. I'm hoping you're looking at that and going, well, 8 times 3 is going to give me 24, right? So there are 3 different breads, or 3 different choices of bread that the sandwich shop is offering, so that there is 24 possible combinations, okay? So 3 is what you're looking for there. Now, number 9, a store offers 32 different t-shirt designs and 11 choices of color. So this is the store's advertisement true over here to the right. So the advertisement for the store says a t-shirt for every day of the year. There's 32 designs and there's 11 colors. So let's check this out. Let's try to find how many outcomes or combinations you would have by using the counting principle. Well, 32 times, not 2, hold on. 32 times 11, right? Let's see what that gives us. So if you multiply those 2, and this is where your calculator comes in handy. Hopefully when you calculate that, you see 352 outcomes. So how many days are there in a year? Isn't there 365? So if that's true, do we have enough combinations to have a t-shirt for every day of the year? Nope. Okay. So not enough t-shirt combinations because there is 365 days in a year. So we are short, right? Or I should say the t-shirt company is short. So by how much? We'll just subtract 352 minus 365, and they're short by 13. So the t-shirt company has false advertising there, right? Maybe they need to add another design or add another color, but they do not have enough t-shirt combinations to satisfy that advertisement there that they have. All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to take a look at some extra practice on page 763. So we're going to use that fundamental counting principle again. So we're going to look at number 15 here. Tossing a coin and selecting one letter from the word math. So remember we talked about you can still draw tree diagrams with these problems, these events, but we talked about how sometimes the tree diagrams can either get too big or too cumbersome. And so the counting principle is the short way, the easier way using multiplication to find out how many total outcomes you can get. So think about tossing a coin. There's two options there, right? Heads or tails. So 2 times. Choosing one letter from the word math. Well, there's 4 letters in that word. So if there's 4 letters, 2 times 4, you'd have 8 outcomes possible, right? So you could get heads and the word or the letter M. You could get heads and the letter A. You could get heads and the letter T, and so on. Okay, so you have 8 outcomes, and you would see those outcomes at sample space if you chose to draw the tree diagram. Number 16, selecting one sweatshirt from a choice of 5 sweatshirts and one pair of pants from a choice of 4 pairs of pants. So 5 sweatshirts times 4 pants, you have 20 outcomes or 20 choices of a sweatshirt and pant combination. Number 17, selecting one entree from a choice of 9 entrees and one dessert from a choice of 3 desserts. So 9 entrees times 3 would give you 27 outcomes. So in the last 2 problems, 16 and 17, it's not giving you specifics, right? It's not telling you specifically what the 5 sweatshirts look like or the 4 pairs of pants look like. Or like in number 17, it doesn't tell you what the 9 entrees are or the 3 desserts. The specifics are not in the question. So as far as drawing a tree diagram, 16 and 17, it wouldn't make sense to do that. You just don't have enough information to create that tree diagram. And so on those 2, the counting principle makes more sense. Number 18, rolling a number cube and tossing 2 coins. So rolling a number cube, 6 options times tossing 2 coins. 2 coins, 2 of them. So the first coin, heads or tails, right? 2 options. Second coin, also heads or tails. There's 2 options there. So rolling that number cube, 6 times one of the coins times 2, the other coin times 2. So be careful reading that. 2 coins are being tossed. So that means you have 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2, there's 24 outcomes possible there. Okay, number 19, choosing tea and regular, raspberry, or lemon, or peach. There's another choice there. Sweetened or unsweetened. So it's kind of messy. Let me try that again. Regular, raspberry, lemon, or peach. Sweetened or unsweetened in a glass or a bottle. So there's 3 events going on there. So if you're going to use or choose regular, raspberry, lemon, or peach, there's 4 choices of tea there. Times. You can have it sweetened or unsweetened. 2 choices. And then lastly, you can have it in a glass or a bottle. So there's 2 choices there as well. Now here you could draw a tree diagram. Absolutely you could. And so you could see the possible outcomes very specifically on what you could get, meaning you could get a regular tea that is sweetened in a glass. You could get a regular tea that is unsweetened in a glass, and so on. So using that counting principle just to help with, instead of the visual, just quick, how many outcomes would I have? How many possibilities do I have? 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. You have 16 choices of the kind of tea you want. Okay. And then we're going to look at number 20 lastly here in the book. So a cafeteria offers oranges, apples, or bananas as its fruit option. It offers peas, green beans, or carrots as the vegetable option. Find the number of fruit and vegetable options. So let's start with that. There are 3 fruit options times there are 3 vegetable options. So that means you have 9 outcomes or 9 combinations of what you want at the cafeteria. So you can get oranges and peas, oranges and green beans, oranges and carrots, apples and peas, and so on. Then it says, find the number, oh, we just did that. So if the fruit and vegetable are chosen at random, what is the probability of getting an orange and carrots? And is it likely or unlikely that a customer would get orange and carrots? So there's only going to be one combination of orange and carrots, one out of the 9 possible combinations there are. So let's check that percentage. So on your calculator, right, we're doing 1 divided by 9. And if we're looking at it as a percent, right, move the decimal 2 places to the right. So you're talking about, you should see 11% on your calculator, and I'm just rounding it to the nearest whole number. Now, when you think about, is that likely or unlikely? Well, 11% or 0.11 is a decimal. That's pretty low. That's falling between the 0% impossible and the 50% equally likely. That 11% is pretty close to the 0 impossible. So that means it's unlikely to pick that combination of oranges and carrots. Okay, we're done with the book. And so the next thing that you're going to go to is the worksheet. So on the agenda, there is a link here, Counting Principle Skills Practice Worksheet. You're going to open this up, and then on lined paper, you're going to just work the problems out and then use your calculator. So it's going to look like this. Okay. There are 12 of them here. So all you need to do on your lined paper is write out the what you're going to multiply. Show the counting principle, meaning, for example, like in number 1, rolling 2 number cubes and tossing 1 coin. So you're going to show on your lined paper, well, 2 number cubes. First number cube, 6 times the second number cube, 6 times tossing 1 coin, 2. 6 times 6 times 2. That's what you're going to write on your lined paper and then calculate it to see how many outcomes are possible. You're using multiplication only, that counting principle, to find your answers. I will tell you, number 12 at the bottom is tough. That's just kind of a challenge. Try it out. See if you get it. In the next video, when you go to check your answers to see how you did, I will explain that one a little bit better, but try it. And don't peek at the answers, the answer key yet. Don't do it while you're working on it. Try all of these. See if you're catching on to counting principle and if you're getting the right answers that I will have shown on the answer key. So then I will meet you back in the next video to go over the answers with you. This should take you a little time, not too much, but I'll meet you back and we'll talk about your answers here shortly. So good luck on this. See you soon.